Testing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening. Introducing first from Damansara Uptown, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, weigh in at let's say 1.5 hours worth of questions. Here's your Uptown lowlife, Cornelius. Low. Evening, everybody. Evening. Well, actually, afternoon. It's an afternoon. Apologies. This got delayed. Hard. I had God, this is a busy day, rushing around like a mad chicken. So, yes, folks. My name is Cornelius, the professional wrestler turned butler. Yes, and I suppose that, well, especially for these couple of weeks, I'm definitely be more pro wrestler than I am butler. I wonder if anyone knows why. Demong, welcome to Cafe Cornelius. Would you like a complimentary drink of some sort? Do let me know. Before that, so just a couple of housekeeping rules, folks. Please do read the rules before interacting with my chat. Read and follow the rules is what I mean. Next up, let's see what else. I'll be getting to the questions very soon, but also, just a little heads up, folks. You see here? Yeah, you see here? Oh. There we go. Apologies, I forgot to get out of the cage. Yeah, I believe I don't sound very I don't sound very echoey anymore, right? Do let me know how's the audio quality and stream quality as well, folks, just in case. I think it should be all right. But do let me know. So, as you can see here, folks, February 18th, in Kuwash Theatre, Taman Tun Dr. Ismail in Malaysia. I am involved in My PW Newbury, a wrestling event. This will be the first time I am wrestling in Malaysia since 3 years ago. I performed in Singapore a couple of times already, actually, since last year. But this will be my first time wrestling in Malaysia for a long time. If you see the pinned comment in the chat, says that I'm wrestling in this show, and then the link there it links to the tickets, actually. Yes. So if you are interested, folks, please do check it out. Also, wait, let me just check something very quick. Why am I 297 now? I thought it was 300. I went down by 2 subs. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Alright, let me see now. Unfortunately, folks, I can't really stay on too long for this stream because I might have things to do, my PW related things to do coming up soon. So I really do need to buckle up for that. Let's see now. Let me just do this. Apologies for all the delays, folks. Really had a lot of things to do. Right, let me just check on this. Actually, I see this. That's better. Okay, so just before we get to it, folks, I just want to let you all know that where is it now? All the best with the event. Thank you so much, Demong. Thank you so much. Let's see, just where is it? Yes, here it is. Okay. So if you also, just a little FYI, folks, in case if you're not aware, the Bell Low has been gifted to a VTuber named Neko Mizurin. I was in her Phasmophobia collab a couple of days ago. That was very fun little collab, and I decided to grant her this bell. So we're going to see what it will be. Vidya, welcome. How are you? Welcome to Cafe Cornelius. And every guest that comes on by gets one complimentary drink here in my cafe/wrestling center, I suppose. Yes. Would you like something to drink? In fact, let's actually head to this screen, shall we? Here we go. So we're gonna get into some Maros, folks. I would love to do it in a more what's the word? Where I have the Maro thing up, but I really am on a bit of a tight schedule right now. So we're gonna be doing it like this instead. Let's see. Let me just put this away first for the moment. Do let me know what you would like to drink, guys. Do let me know. So let's start with the first question, shall we? How many people did you beat, or did you not beat anyone yet? Oh man, this is a bit of a tough question for me. Just because I've wrestled for the past 5 years. In fact, the last 2 years, well, I wasn't really wrestling now, was I? I wrestled a lot less since last year. Let's see. Last year, I won one, I lost one. Won that one. I think I have won more than I have lost. That's just not me just tooting my own horn. I think that is the truth. I would like a hot coffee. All right. I can oblige that. Let me whip this up. Let me have a look at my wares. All right, here we go. Let's see now. Please be aware of the aliens named Kree. Here is your coffee. One coffee coming up for Demong. I hope you enjoy that. All right. So I've definitely won a little more. I mean, after all, I'm a championship holder. I'm the current MyPW national champion. Yes. I won that. Oh, that was a pretty interesting day actually, because I actually won that in a tournament setting. I won that. I defeated 3 opponents in a row to get that championship. That was a. Oh, after that day was done, I got busted. Let me bigify myself. I think I can bigify myself here. Yes, I think that should be fine. Yes. So yeah, that was a pretty grueling day, but it was pretty worth it. So I've been holding that title ever since. So I think I've won more than I've lost. It's for most wrestlers, especially when you're quite busy. Like let's say if you're wrestling week after week. Oh man, sometimes it all becomes a blur. Sometimes. Especially because in wrestling, sometimes you're not even wrestling one other person. You are wrestling 2 other people, 3 other people. Sometimes you're wrestling as a team against another team. Sometimes you're wrestling against 2 teams. It can get mad sometimes. Sometimes you're punching it. Sometimes you're not scrapping it out with the referee. It's hilarious. I think for me, definitely more wins than losses. Actually, I have got my fair share of losses. Things happen sometimes. Let's see. I'm just like this. There we go. What's it like flying around the ring? Yes, this is a good little question here. It can feel like you're in a tornado. Genuinely, it feels like you are in a tornado and you're trying to just control yourself. And mind you, I'm speaking as someone that doesn't really fly around the ring. I'm not a high flyer. I'm a technical wrestler. You folks don't know what that means? A technical wrestler is someone that focuses more on grappling and submissions. So I am very much a fundamentals sort of a lad. I prefer to, as opposed to jumping up in the air and giving you a missile drop kick, I prefer to grab you and stretch you out in that abdominal stretch. And then get even more creative from there. Yes. So flying around the ring. So even for someone like me, who deliberately tries to slow down the pace, it can still feel like a whirlwind. I do techniques where I am sometimes outright upside down. I'm outright upside down, or I end up being upside down against my will. Like, I've been suplexed before, so there's a lot of things that can get you very, very disorientated, and that's a good word. You can get very disorientated very quickly in a wrestling ring if you're not careful. You really do have to manage your sanity in some ways, your sanity and your head, because oh god, sometimes if you will literally be from one corner to the other in barely half a second. It can be mad. Oh, by the way, I actually don't have that many questions with me right now. So if you feel like asking a question in chat or wanting to add something onto my Maro or Google Forms, go ahead. Please do. In fact, actually, why have I not done this yet? Let me grab this. No, wait. Oh, darn. I'm being silly with it, but so yes, if you want to write in chat as well, that's perfectly fine. I can also do it this way, so if you wish to like make it look a little fancier with a marshmallow, here you go. My marshmallow right now, I don't feel like there's any issues with it actually, so please do feel free to write it if you wish to. Let me get my Google Forms very quickly. I actually have one question from Google Forms actually, so I will get to that pretty soon. All right, let me just very quickly grab it. Okay, here's the Google Forms. All right, let's continue, shall we, folks? Let's continue. All right, let's continue on. All right. Let's see now. This is a good one. What wrestling move you want to do but can't? This is something I'm going to have to confess a little bit, folks. So can't. So then there's a lot. Let's see. There's a difference between can't and will not. I've got a few that I will not, just because that will just aggravate my chronic injuries even more. So it's best if I don't get involved with that. But I can't right now. That means stuff I want to do but not able to do. That will be things like okay. A senton suicida. Yes, that's it. That is legitimately a move that I really would love to do right now, but can't. So a senton suicida, folks, is one where you basically do a dive out of the ring, like straight between the ropes, right? So that's what we call a suicide dive. But a senton suicida, that implies that you're using your back to like squish the opponent. So imagine this: a senton suicida is where you dive out of the ropes, but you flip. So you're smashing the opponents with your back instead. So you're diving out and then you're flipping, essentially. So you're tucking your head down and you're smashing your back to your entire upper back or lower back, and maybe even the butt to the opponent. So it is massive momentum. I've not had the opportunity to really practice that yet. I would love to get to a senton suicida one day, but alas, that's I think the main thing. So amazingly, this does encompass a lot of the high flying moves. I really like doing high flying moves actually. The ones that are within reason, of course. No, just because I definitely err on the side of caution when it comes to the graps. Yes, like I say, if a single top rope elbow drop renders me unable to walk after that, but what am I gonna do? You know? Yep. About answer it. What is the most high-risk wrestling move you had done so far? Ah, that's a good one here. Let's see. Had done. That's interesting because there's a lot that I have not really... Because, like I said, I tend to err on the side of caution. This does sort of mean that I sound almost like a boring wrestler. And I do admit that, I'm not the high flyer, so I'm not going to be doing daring and mad stunts, or I'm not going to be tossing people around. I'm very honest about my abilities. But the most high-risk move I have done... that is, I suppose, most dangerous for my opponent. Let's see. I think that's actually my low breaker. Yes, it's the one where I fireman's carry someone, and I basically flip them over and smash their neck onto my knee. Yeah, that's a pretty dangerous move. So if you've seen air raid crash before, that like someone from WWE, like Sheamus has done, that's what it is. Except I do it, I make sure that their neck lands on my knee instead. That's the variation that I like to do. So that's pretty fun. So that's probably one of my more elaborate moves. But I have been training. I have been workshopping a few new things. I think there'll be something that will top the low breaker coming February 18th. Yes, that should top it well and nice. I'm not going to spoil it yet. Maybe I'll reveal it in due time. All right, let me just check something very quickly, folks. Yes. And please do feel free to ask more questions if you like. Let's see now. Let me just do this really quickly. All right, let's continue on. Let's see now. Oh, and if you wish to ask me anything VTuber related, please feel free to. I've kept mentioning that in my tweets after all. So it's either something pro wrestling related or VTuber related. Let's keep it to those two things, folks. Let's see now. How long does it take to train for amateur wrestling and from that to professional wrestling? That's a bit of a strange question to me when I see it, because amateur wrestling implies a few things. It can I think for you, this question refers to when you just starting off as a training pro wrestling. Do you mean starting off training in pro wrestling, or do you mean starting off in amateur wrestling? Because there's a difference. Because when you say to me amateur wrestling, that refers to an actual sport as opposed to the sports entertainment thing that is pro wrestling. It's two different things. Amateur wrestling is an actual Olympic sport, and pro wrestling is sports entertainment. Two different things. So amateur wrestling is where you do where the guys are in those tight wrestling singlets, wearing those cups over the ears, to protect the ears from cauliflower ear, and they do double leg takedowns and all those sort of things. And that's an actual full contact sport. That's what amateur wrestling is. So that's different. You don't really... So the answer to that basically is no, you don't have to do amateur wrestling at all to do professional wrestling. I never did. I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for a while, and that was a great base for me to start off, but I did not do amateur wrestling. But it'd be great if you can, because that will give you a lot of conditioning. That will allow you to do learn about takedowns and different techniques and really understand body coordination. Really good base to have. I believe one of the wrestlers in Singapore, Aiden Rex, his base is in fact in amateur wrestling. He's fantastic at it. In fact, such an athlete. But to answer your question, no, you don't have to do that at all. However, how long does it take to actually get yourself to become an actual professional wrestler? That really depends. I know some folks have been training for 6 months. They can get into a match already. I know some folks that requires longer. I personally felt that I needed more than a year just to even debut properly. I'll be very honest with you. I needed more than a year. So it really depends. There's a lot of factors here. Your ability to be committed to the craft, how well you pick up things, how healthy is your body, you know, if you have any injuries, how well you pick up the nuances. There's a lot of things, a lot of different factors, and it is difficult. I cannot emphasize this enough. You almost have to treat this like a second job, almost. Because there are so many things you have to think about. No, the performance side, your conditioning, your techniques, making sure that you can do things safe, but making sure you're able to like make sure it feels genuine and convincing. You know, all these things that really like will make a convincing and memorable performance. You know. So we're not asking you to. So we're not expecting folks to like be pulling out 630 centons or be able to like jump out of the top rope from the get-go. No, it'd be great if you can, but no, that's not the expectation. The expectation is to be able to just do things cleanly and able to put on a good show, be able to make things convincing, make sure that people will believe in you and want to support you or want to boo you. You know, all that jazz. Yes. Hope that answers your question there. So that's actually a huge misconception, actually. That's actually a huge misconception. I will definitely do a stream one day talking about the various misconceptions that people have about professional wrestling. That alone, that list will go on forever. I bet you that if I were to make a tweet for that, you know, come give me your list of misconceptions or things that you're not sure about or your myths about it. Myths and misconceptions of pro wrestling. That list will just, it will go. What's the percentage of those who entered amateur wrestling but never went pro? Pretty high. Not everybody who goes into amateur wrestling or Greco-Roman wrestling or folk wrestling will get into pro wrestling because some of them are just not interested. Again. Calling it amateur wrestling is a huge misnomer. Actually, I will avoid using this term when talking about pro wrestling because they are almost two completely different things. If you're saying who's the percentage of those who started off as trainees but never went pro, pretty high. And this does mean and when you say pro, what do you mean by pro? If you're talking about someone that the amount of people that have entered and have debuted in a match, actually, that really does depend. Like, for example, right now, my PW is training a new generation of pro wrestling trainees. I would say most of them are getting a shot, like a debut match or something of that sort. But that's because the boys that were trained this new generation, they really worked hard for it, and we really drilled them properly. So it all depends. It all depends on your dedication. So percentage-wise, I'm not even sure if I want to give you a proper answer to this because that really depends. It does depend on how lenient the schools are. If the school is a well and proper one, they will not be so lenient, you know? You definitely need to have a certain standard before you even want to even debut, you know? And okay, I'll be brutally honest, here's a bit of a hot take. You do one wrestling match in a pro wrestling show does not make you a pro wrestler. No. That just means you have wrestled a match. Yes. Does it make you a bona fide pro wrestler? You know, it's like let's say you do MMA. You do one amateur MMA fight, does that make you a mixed martial artist already? You know, I think if you have done like multiple mixed martial arts fights, then yes, you can call yourself a mixed martial artist. Whether it's all losses or not, at least you've put in the time to do multiple shows. I'm a pro wrestler that has not really made it super big. I've never gone viral. No one really talks about me a lot. I've not really ventured out into the big four, like North America, England, Japan, and Mexico. But I can at least call myself a pro wrestler because I have really put a lot of time into this. I've wrestled in multiple different matches, in multiple different scenarios. I've traveled for this. Everyone's a little different, at least. But so if you were to say the percentage of those who have just entered and very new to this but never went pro, so not those that went really, really far with it. Yeah, a little high. Again, I dare not even give numbers on this because it all depends. It all depends. I can definitely say that when I did my debut match, just that one match, I will say, if people really ask me, first of all, I'll say no, I don't do pro wrestling. I keep it a secret. But I will say to the others, yes, I've done pro wrestling, but I'm not there yet. It's only about, I would say maybe like a few matches later, then I'll say yes, I am a pro wrestler, because then I feel like I've earned it. Not the greatest pro wrestler, but a pro wrestler indeed. There's surprisingly a lot of nuance to what is considered a pro wrestler, especially in this day and age where I suppose the barrier of entry is a lot lower these days. Yes. Oh, the barrier of entry to pro wrestling. I'll get to that in a future topic, how to get into pro wrestling. The answer is still don't, by the way. But I'll get more into that in a future stream. Okay, here's another one. What's the daily routine of a pro wrestler? This really depends. This seriously depends. I would say a good amount of it is actually training. So I don't mean training in the ring. I mean like just going to the gym. Yes, folks, as pro wrestlers, we go to the gym. I go to the gym. I have a home gym, I'm lucky that I get to train at home and I have a pretty good workout. So you are almost borderline working out like a bodybuilder, actually, or a CrossFitter. It depends on what you want to go for as a pro wrestler. So there is a lot of working out. And then I would say another thing is also, guess what? If you want to do pro wrestling, you gotta watch pro wrestling. You gotta study pro wrestling. I used to do that a lot. A little bit less these days, but in your formative years as a trainee, you better be watching a lot of wrestling. Hi, Con. Gym training is good in general, not just in wrestling. That is true. But I would say that for wrestling, it's practically a necessity. Because let's face it, who would you rather watch wrestling? The guy with the six-pack and huge pecs, or the guy with a beer belly, and skinny muscles? Like I said, necessity. The bare necessity, the simple bare necessities. So yeah, it is absolutely necessary. And then obviously, so I wouldn't say daily routine. That I would say. So I prefer to say weekly routine, because daily that can really depend, because and this is gonna surprise some folks. That also involves doing your job, your other job, your hustle. What you do to supplement or to fund your pro wrestling. For me, it's something like voice acting. So that basically means that is everywhere. One second, folks. But yes, it is good to train in the gym. But it does depend. Like if you're someone that prefers to go back for badminton as opposed to the gym, go for it. Go for it. At least you're still moving around, you're still exercising and stuff. Because for some folks, just gym can be boring. You know, gym can be boring. Like for me, like I cannot go on a treadmill without some music, without something to listen to. It just I can't do that. So the daily thing about pro wrestler, that can mean a lot of things. Like it really, really does depend, you know. So especially like for me, my routine has changed quite a bit now that my PW newbie is coming up. You know, like even today alone, I was helping out with some promotions and stuff. So it really does depend. Let's see now. Oh, how about that answers your question there? Okay. How do wrestlers train and with what machines, if any? If you're talking about machines, let's say in a gym, there's all sorts we will use. I would say almost all of it. Almost all of it. Yeah. So it makes sense to do a little bit of powerlifting, a little bit of hypertrophic. So it all depends on what we want. I focus a little bit more on hypertrophy because it's safer for me. I get to also work on my cardio as well. It helps with muscle tone. So it does depend. I would say that what I really prefer using are free weights. That for me is pretty important. Why free weights as opposed to machines where, let's say like the chest press machine, going, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? The reason for that, let's say I prefer to use a barbell as opposed to a chest press machine is because one, the weights, are free. Because the weights are free, you have to learn how to be stable with it. And you're also working multiple body parts. In some ways, that simulates a wrestling match a lot more than doing a chest press machine. Because let's say a chest press machine, you are literally isolating one body part. There will be some times when you want to do that. But for us pro wrestlers, we are lifting people, we're twisting people around. That uses so different a variety of muscles. So you best bet that every pro wrestler should be training with free weights as opposed to going pure machine. Unless if you are trying to rehab stuff. Again, there are always exceptions. But even I, as someone with a chronic injury, I greatly prefer free weights. Do you prefer weights that are heavy right off the bat? No. Especially because of me. Because I'm a fairly small wrestler even from the get-go. So even if I was in a perfectly healthy condition, I wouldn't go super heavy right off the bat. There was a time where I would actually train almost like a power lifter actually. But even then, I will still like switch things around here and there. Some weeks I'll go really heavy. Some weeks I'll focus on hypertrophy. Just because you want to be very careful with how heavy you want to go, Because that's how I got injured in the first place. How I got really, really injured in the first place. So it does depend. Let's say if you're really new to weightlifting, you want to take it slow. Work your way up into the heavier weights slowly but surely. Don't immediately go for the super heavy stuff immediately. Slowly ease yourself into the heavier weights. When I was a kid, around 4th grade, all of my male friends were watching WWE. And they talked about it in class. Of course. What young hot-blooded lad wouldn't talk about WWE? Yes. So I think Southeast Asia in general. I'm not sure if you're in Southeast Asia or not, Vidya. We're in an age where most of the countries in Southeast Asia has live pro wrestling, where it's locals performing pro wrestling. In Malaysia, we have MyPW and APAC Wrestling. Both companies are legitimate, doing legitimate pro wrestling. Like it's stuff that you will see in America. It's stuff you will see in Japan. When the Japanese and the Americans see what we do, they won't say, oh, this is terrible stuff. Why are these kids are risking their lives for? Instead, they will say, hey, that's what we do here as well. Wow, it's happening across that side of the world. Wow, that's cool. That's where we are right now. So we're in really, really exciting times. Obviously, watching WWE is gonna be the big leagues. That's the dream. But watching it live, where it's your own people, that's a special and almost a different experience altogether. Yes. Again, wait, hold on. Well, let me just grab that image. Where is that image? Hold on, I have it here somewhere. Where is it? Ah, here it is. Ta-da! So yes, folks. Which is my way of saying, if you're able to catch this, please do. Please do. The pinned comment will lead you to the ticket page where you can purchase it. In fact, you know what? Yeah, okay, mention now. If you DM me on Twitter, I might be able to offer you a special code, actually. So there's your hint, folks. There's your hint. So machines are nice, especially if you're rehabbing. But again, my preferred category of machines would be free weights. Absolutely. Let's see now. How about this one? Would be so kind to perhaps tell us what made you stop pursuing pro wrestling in the first place and why? Sincerely, a non-wrestler. Interesting question. Why did I want to do this? I enjoyed watching pro wrestling. I enjoy how it's multiple arts, multiple disciplines clashing into one. I've made this distinction before, where pro wrestling is three things. It is the musical theater for muscleheads. It is athletics, it is acting, and it is martial arts combined into one. There's a lot of components going into it. Some that may not seem obvious that they go with each other at all, actually. Like we are legit swinging really hard at each other. We make full contact. It is a full contact athletic activity. Well, we try our best to make sure that after the show, the both wrestlers are able to, walk on their own 2 feet. Usually. So I think that the intersection of multiple disciplines is what really got me interested, actually, and really excited to keep on with this. In fact, this is the exact reason why I'm into VTubing, actually, because of that intersection of multiple disciplines. There is a surprising amount of parallels between pro wrestling and VTubing, actually. So that's kind of why I'm into both. Why I am both, in fact. Oh, because I can't just be happy with one. Because I just had to do both and make myself go silly over it. And they end up affecting. It's like, oh god, like I can't really do this stream super long. Either can I? Just because I got stuff to do later on. That is pro wrestling related. So that's a bit mad. Let's see now. Let me just check something very quickly, folks. Alright, let's keep going. come on, come on. Let's see now. Right, here we are. Oh, this is a multi-parter. Let's go. Questions for Ren. Thank you for the questions, Ren. Number 1. Will you do the boys meme video? You're referring to the show The Boys? That comic book series turned Amazon show? Is that what you're referring to? Because I'm not sure actually. I know about that meme. I can't even recall what exactly that sound bite was on TikTok. I am aware of it. I would love to do more meme videos. That's for certain. Do more YouTube shorts and all that jazz. I feel like that's good for my branding and good entertainment for you folks. But I still have to get through with my day 2 vlog. Oh my god, it's February already. What am I doing? It's just that I've been so busy caught up with so many other things. Dang it. I really need to be careful with my scheduling here. In fact, now I just remembered something. I need to check something right now. 1 second, folks. 1 second. Apologies. I am a little distracted right now because this is so much for me to handle. Did you almost say clubbing? No. Wait, what? Did I say clubbing? What about clubbing? Nixman? Also, welcome to Cafe Cornelius, Nixman. How are you? How are you? Nixman here is a fellow VTuber. Would you like something to drink, Nixman? This is a every new guest gets a complimentary drink here in Cafe Cornelius. It's how I keep you stuck here. Nero, welcome to Cafe Cornelius. All right. The second question is, what do you do if you got 500 subscribers? Great question. Well, first of all, I'm not even there at 300 subs just yet, aren't I? So if you'd be so kind, folks, to get me to 300, then I think maybe talking about, then maybe, have I... Never mind 500. I'm not even there at 300 just yet. You say you don't have much time, then you say I should stop club. Then just cut off there. What did I say? No, not clubbing. I do not club. Can you imagine me going uns. No. What did I say just now? I think it's more like because I'm doing both pro wrestling and VTubing, both schedules are sort of clashing a little bit with each other. For 500 subs, maybe do a VTuber wrestling event. I'm gonna let you know right now. That's something that I'm not gonna say exactly what, but I'm gonna be planning for that even before 500 subs. I'm not gonna wait for. I'm not gonna wait for. I'm not gonna wait for a check mark. What's the word? I'm not gonna wait till 500 subs before I get to that. Trust first 500. Yes, I do intend to get past 500. In fact, I want to get past 1,000. I want to get past 10,000. So for that, I do really need to grind at this. I do really need to put more effort into this. Yeah, most Malaysian VTubers have to work in real life. Yes, indeed. So yeah, that's just another thing. A lot of us really need to balance a lot of things as well. Let's say 500. I don't know, something wacky, something that will maybe get you guys involved as well. Yes. I do feel that now is not really the best of times to do like audience participation stuff. Not yet, anyways. But maybe a little bit later on, then we shall see. Katie, welcome to the stream. To shoot for the moon. Maybe. Would you guys like to see me? Ooh, imagine doing a pro wrestling event on the moon with the lower gravity. You grab someone for a pile driver position, you jump up, and you go. Ooh. Yeah, that would be the slowest pile driver ever. Would that even do any damage? I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, doing pro wrestling in the moon might be a very, very different thing altogether. So it's probably something audience participation related. I guess that would be a nice time to do it, I think. What things you can lit it your hand? I think you mean what things I can fit in my hand? Not a lot. My hand's pretty small. It's small, so that means it's pointier. So my punches will hurt more, even though I have smaller arms. That just about covers it for Maro. I have one for, let's see now, let me try to do this. Here we go. In fact, let me just do this very quickly first. Let me just double check, see if... Let me just refresh this, see if there's any more quick cues. So yes, if you wish to ask more questions, folks, please feel free to do so in the chat. All right, I think it's all right for me to show this. All right. So it says here, in fact, let me just move out of the way first. There we go. It says here, do you have any candidates for match of the 2020s decade? If so, what are those matches? We're not even done with this decade, you know? We're not even done with this decade. We're literally just in the 3rd year of this decade. And there's already so many fantastic matches so far. Even with the past, the previous 2 years being, you know, pandemic riddled. Yeah. Let's see. 2 comes to mind so far that I have not really. 2 comes to mind. That is the Walter Ilya Dragunov match in NXT, and the Kenny Omega Will Ospreay match in New Japan Pro Wrestling that was done recently. I believe the Ilya Dragunov and Walter match that was at least a year ago. That match is one of the most hardest hitting match ever, and that had no audience to it. That had no audience members to it. This was done in a time where it was still where the pandemic was still very, very active. Where the only way to watch where there was no live audience, you can only watch it online. So wrestling really suffered at the time. Awesome Eclipse, welcome to Cafe Cody as well. Oh, that's your complimentary drink for the day. So, I do think, yeah. So the reason why I mentioned that, so in spite of everything, I'm going to recommend the Ilya Dragunov Walter match, because that is one of the most hardest hitting matches I have ever seen in my life. There was literally no one in that arena with them. And it was one of the most brutal matches ever. They chopped the lights out of each other. They kicked the lights out of each other. Amazing stuff. And then the Kenny Omega Will Ospreay match. That was just them destroying everything at each other. You know, incredible intensity, incredible storytelling, incredible feats of athleticism. Yep, that has to be there. That has to be up there. The Boneyard match for me is a good candidate for match of the decade. Boneyard match. Who was wrestling in that, Elena, if you don't mind me asking? So we got a long ways to go. We're not even done with this year yet. Yep, and that's all the questions. Yep, don't have any questions for this at all, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. Let's see. Let me just check the Maros if anything's changed with it. Nope. But just change it. AJ Styles versus Undertaker at WrestleMania. Oh, that match. This is what we call a cinematic match. So this involved the Good Brothers as well. What are the names? Doc Gallows and Anderson. I'm just dropping by for a bit because I gotta go out to get myself a suit. Everyone needs a good suit on them. Every man needs a good suit, and every lady needs a good suit as well. A lady looks so sharp and beautiful in a well-tailored suit. That was pretty memorable indeed. I think it's because we are in sort of a new phase where wrestling matches can sometimes not even look like wrestling matches, you know. So it's amazing that Matt Hardy innovated a whole new style of putting on matches, actually. So really interested. I actually wonder if wrestling in Malaysia will ever do like a cinematic style match. I think that would be really, really neat. That will need to take a little bit of prep work, but that must be fascinating to do. Would love to get involved with that sort of thing one day. I am one of those sort of wrestlers that gets involved with all sorts of weird antics after all. So that will be pretty cool to see. One second, folks. Let's see now. So yeah, that's about it, folks. No, that's all the questions that were sent to me thus far. Maybe when I get, maybe when I increase the size of my channel a little bit more, I'll get more questions and I will do this again. So I do see this as a semi-regular thing. 1 second, folks. 1 second. I just realized that that I might need to turn on the lights a little bit. 1 second. Don't worry, I'm still here. I know you can still hear me, so just give it a bit. Alright, 1 second. Alright, I am back. Was I ever gone? I don't think I was ever gone. No. I think the reason why, so if anyone's curious as to why I've decided to, you know, do such a thing here. What is, oh no. Oh gods. Oh, why I decided to do this whole Q&A. I don't know, just give you guys an opportunity to you know, ask me stuff about this. I like to think I can be the bridge between pro wrestling and VTubing, so hence I'm doing stuff like this. Actually, now that I think about it, can I do the inverse of this? Can I do like a VTuber Q&A for a pro wrestling audience? You good there, sir? Yes. I was just trying to turn on the lights. If you noticed a little while ago, my mouth was like flickering a little bit, right? I was going like this. But now you can really see that the mouth tracking is a lot better. And that's because the lights were off. It was looking a little gloomy on the outside. That sort of thing. So now it looks a lot better. That is a nice idea. Is it? I don't know if that will work. Like what am I gonna do? You know, take some time during intermission to ask folks, hey, if you were asking me about VTubers, now's your time. That would be kind of strange. Can I even do like a panel talk about it in an anime convention? Oh, the camera can't detect because of no light. It could, but it was little light, so it needs more light. That's for certain. The best bet is to get questions from r/squared circle. Lots of wrestling fans there. Interesting. But I know about that subreddit. They are very, very laser focused on just pro wrestling. So if someone like me were to show up there asking for, to do this sort of stream, to talk about VTubing in that space, I don't know if that's the right place for it. I don't know if I've ever even been mentioned on r/squared circle before, in fact. Southeast Asia actually does get mentioned a couple of times actually in Squared Circle. I'm really happy about that because that just shows that that Southeast Asia and Malaysia has some audience there. So that's pretty neat. And I do tend to be quite careful on that subreddit. Like, you will never see my name pop up there. Unless if I'm doing something very official, and I doubt that will ever happen. I don't think you will ever see my name pop up there. It's just too risky. It's just too risky. I know that some wrestlers have some success promoting themselves there, but I don't think I need to right now. One second. So yeah, I've been on that subreddit for years actually. For years. I go way back with that subreddit. So I know you do need to be a little careful there because there are some folks that are, well, let's face it, if you're really, really into wrestling, you only watch wrestling and you don't watch much else. So you end up having some, you end up getting almost myopic about it. You get so obsessed and caught up with it that every little thing can be set off and stuff. So I prefer to err on the side of caution there. I can almost say the same thing for VTubing actually. So yeah, it's always good to be, in just words to the wise. Just be extra careful on social media. If you think you're not being careful, even if you think you're being careful, you're not being careful enough. There's other options, I suppose. So, I suppose so. This, might as well show it again. Gonna use this time to just shamelessly advertise this. So yeah. Okay, so I think I can talk a little bit about this event here in more detail. So, New Breed, as this suggests, the whole theming of this event is that this is going to be a new start. Especially with MyPW will be showcasing wrestlers that, may be doing their wrestling debut, may have never been in MyPW before. So, it's a huge reset. We're getting folks from other different companies as well. As you can see here, Vicious Pursuit and Grapple Max Pro Wrestling. Grapple Max Pro Wrestling should be a very, very familiar face for a lot of long-time wrestling fans, because they're a company in Singapore that I have talked and lauded very, very highly of. I have a lot of respect for Grapple Max, so it'll be nice to see the Singaporean boys again. In fact, some of them actually came by last night for APAC Underground, another pro wrestling event, actually. And Vicious Pursuit, this is the pro wrestling school that Carlo Cannon teaches, who is, I guess, our current head coach in my PW. He is the one that has been guiding the coach, what I like to call the coaches by proxy here in my PW. So you'll be seeing Carlo coming down once again to Malaysia, and you'll be seeing the coaches by proxy in action as well. So I'm really excited and very nervous for that. I cannot tell you how nervous I am. I'm not sure if it's the coffee. I'm not sure if it's the coffee or the event itself that's giving me a lot of the heebie-jeebies currently. Yes. Let's see, let me just check one more time. Let me just check one more time, folks. Give me a little bit. So you have any other questions, folks? Please just ask away. Just ask away. That's what this whole stream is here for. So you might be asking, like, what are some of the things I'm doing in preparation for a new breed? The really big thing for me for this event is that I want to like workshop a few new things, because it is a new era, right? So I want to try some new techniques that I've never done before whilst wrestling. So you might see a new side of me actually in new breed, but we shall see. We shall see. Obviously, I need to also work on a few other things as well. Like, gotta really brush up on my cardio. That's a big one. That's a big one. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here's another sort of important announcement. For the next couple of weeks, I don't think I should be having a stream schedule. Just because there's so many things to keep an eye on right now. That especially especially for the third week of this month, I have to block the entire week off just for pro wrestling, because I'll be having to help out with the international fellows that'll be coming down over the week. Let's see. I think let's see. This has been a very short stream, but that is fine. That is fine. I think I'm gonna call it here, folks. I'm gonna call it here. Nice, short and sweet stream. Just because I really do have other things I do need to do later in the day, so it's best if I give some space for that. But again, folks, just here's the poster one more time. And again, just a gentle reminder: if you wish to get some you can feel free to message me on my Twitter. If you wish to get a special code when purchasing tickets. All right, folks. Cafe Cornelius is now closing shop, but Cafe Cornelius will never close in your heart. Thank you so much for coming on by, Alina. Hope to see you again soon. And yes, have a lovely evening, everyone. And Lord Skare. Bye-bye. Oh, remember to like, share, and subscribe this channel. Get me back up to 300, please. What happened to those 3 subs, eh? All right. Okay, now we're going. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.